Hi, everyone. I wanted to share a story with you that connects closely to what our chapter in the Brain book was this week, and it was about building a relationship with your teachers and having a sense of rapport, alliance, and cognitive insight. So when I was going to school in the early grade school years, we moved a lot and we were low income. So I didn't really have a chance to build a relationship with teachers other than in the first grade. A teacher took a real liking to me and took me under her wing. But by the time I reached fourth and fifth grade, I was pretty well beaten down, and I was going to West Auburn grade school at the time, and we were living right across the street. So the teachers in their teacher's lounge had full view of our house and all the goings on that would happen. And my sister Linda had already by that time dropped out of school, and she was only in eighth grade at the time. And so they would see her outside on the porch with sometimes visiting with her boyfriends or whatever. And so they really formed an idea of who I was and thought I would be a failure too. My teacher, his name was Mr. Styling, and at the time he would say things like, you'll be just like your sister, you probably won't make it out of eighth grade, or 16, whichever comes first. And on my report card, it was straight D's, including a D in citizenship. Mr. Styling had a way of just beating me down. When I did try to succeed at something, he would accuse me of not doing my own work, of maybe having my sister Linda, the dropout, help me with it. And he would do things like, there was one instance that I remember. We were trying to earn free books, and we were taking these quizzes, and that was a real motivator for me, because getting free books when you can't afford to buy books was really exciting. And they were from the Scholastic Book Club or something like that. So I was taking the quizzes, and I had it really down pat. I had, as soon as that bell would go off, I would have my pencil and paper ready, and I actually ended up winning 2 different rounds of that on different days. And so one particular day, I was ready again, had everything in front of me, and as the timer started us, Mr. Styling walked by, and he actually just took my paper away. And so I was thinking, what am I going to do? And I was looking everywhere, and my desk was a disaster. So I tried to get through my desk to try to find a piece of paper, and I turned to the person sitting next to me and asked her if I could have a piece. And she's, don't bother me. I'm taking the test and taking the quiz. And I never understood why he took my paper away. And after that, I never passed the quiz again. So by the end of the 5th grade, Mr. Styling announced to the class that Diana Mamerto would be passing on condition. And he said to me in front of the class, if you don't succeed within the first month of 6th grade, you'll be back in 5th grade. So I started 6th grade. The teacher was a lot nicer, but he did come up and say to me, Diana, you are passed on condition that you do well the first month of school. But something wonderful happened that first month of school. Someone in our family died, and they left us some money, $3,500. And with that, my mother put $2,500 down on a house on 37th Street Southeast in Auburn, and she bought me a new dress for school to start my school. So I was really excited to start a new school, especially in a new dress, and I would be going to Pioneer Elementary. I was excited about that. So unfortunately, Pioneer Elementary was full for 6th grade, and they were going to bus me to Algona. And I thought, Algona, I don't want to go to Algona. That's where all the poor kids go, is to Algona. And I want to pretend that I have money now because I've got a new dress. And it was actually the best thing that ever happened, because I met a very inspirational teacher by the name of Mr. Gene Brown. And I entered the class, and there was applause, and I thought, why would people be clapping when I walk into this room? And Mr. Brown explained to me, you are the 8th girl in this class. We have 16 boys, and you are the 8th girl. We are so happy to have another girl. And even the boys were cheering, and it was just unbelievable that I was treated so well on my first day of school in my brand new dress. So, the first test that came along was something that I had already done at West Auburn the week before. Evidently, Algona was behind 1 week in what they were presenting in their little canned curriculum. So I aced the test. So Mr. Brown thought, no, not only do I have a girl in the class, but I've got a smart girl. So he was just excited as anything. And then when he got my records from West Auburn, he called me up to his desk and he said, Diana, I see that your grades were really low. What happened here? And I said, the teacher didn't like me. And he left it at that. He didn't cross-examine me or anything, but all year he liked me. And I ended up getting an A in citizenship. There's so much more to the story about what happened during that year, but it changed my life. And by the time I got to 7th grade for Olympic Junior High, I was an A student. And I had people that adored me that had also come from Algona. And so I had friends, and I was popular. And it was the best thing that could have ever happened, because from that point on, I did well. So I'll tell you a little bit more of the story when we meet in person, but I just want you to know how much it means to have someone that is your champion, and someone that is there to encourage you and to inspire you, and that sometimes other things can get in the way. We can label kids and think that they're not going to succeed. We can have all kinds of notions about things, but never underestimate the power of inspiration. So thank you.